Hey, what's going on there, YouTube? Texas Triple Tapper here. Gonna show you guys how to field strip and clean the Desert Eagle. This is the 50 AE. This weapon, it is, I mean, as it is with all weapons, you want to keep them clean, but, I don't generally clean my weapons each and every time I take them to the range. I generally do it every other time. Depending upon how many rounds I put through it, just because, I buy quality weapons, and they are designed to be shot. But this one is a little exception, so to speak. This one, because of the high grain content, this is just a monstrous bullet. A lot of powder, a lot of carbon, a lot of gas, and they get dirty very, very quickly. We're gonna do a quick safety check. Lock it to the rear. I don't know if you can see that in there, but I didn't even put 20 rounds through this last time I had it at the range. I think I put like between 10 and 15, and it's pretty dirty, and so it also has, it smells like it's been fired 100 rounds. So you want to be diligent in taking care of these. So like I said, obviously, safety check, there is no round in there. This one's really easy to tell because the barrel, it's a 1/2 inch diameter, so you would know it if something was in there. So since there's not, go ahead and close it, and then this is single action only, so I'm gonna let the hammer down, put it back on safe. And so what you want to do here, there's a button on this side, and if you look right here, you see that kind of moving. So what you want to do, you want to grab the barrel because it is under tension, push that button in and just slide that forward, and you'll notice the barrel slides right off. Now this part right here, it's generally recommended, there's 2 springs in here, you can see in there. It's generally recommended, or I like to do it where I just kind of turn it over and just take it off that way. There's the spring. There is this little piece right here is the piston that comes out. And this thing is basically broken down. The only other thing that you would need to do, and double check your owner's manual. I don't know off the top of my head how often you actually need to remove the bolt and get in there and clean it out. I probably would recommend it probably, I don't know, once every 100 rounds or so. But again, I'm just kind of guessing. There is a separate tool to take down the bolt. Also, if you want to change out the calibers, like I said, this is the 50 Action Express. I could put in the 44 without doing a thing, but if I wanted to put in the 357, I would actually have to change out the bolt. So first things first, I like using gloves. Some people don't. I'm just kind of fanatical about that. I work in healthcare, so I get them, let's just say I get them very cheaply. So gonna put me on some gloves here. Some of these chemicals are pretty nasty. So you'll see I've got everything disassembled here. I've got just a little brush. This is a something you can put a patch on, and or a bore brush, which I'm going to use both. This is a little cleaning kit that I've had forever and a day, so I'll still use part of it. This is a bigger one. This is a multi-caliber one from Remington. It's got all kinds of stuff in it that I'll use. You can use it to clean elephant guns and all kinds of crazy stuff. And again, I work in healthcare. These are some non-woven gauze sponges. I'm going to use these as patches to push down the barrel. Also, I'm pretty excited. For the first time, I am going to be demoing this product. It is called Clenzoil. I happened to be at a pawn shop, I don't know, a week or so ago, where I buy a lot of guns and guitars and jewelry and things like that. I do quite a bit of business with these guys. I happened to be in there. I was actually purchasing an AR-15, which you can actually see that video. I've got it uploaded of me at the range. I'm going to do a more in-depth video. But the two reps, the president and then I guess the sales rep guy came in. They actually gave me this stuff for free, as the guy at the pawn shop, knows I do YouTube videos. So you guys are getting a live, first time exclusive, whatever other buzzwords they use when they talk about this kind of stuff. I'm going to see how well this stuff cleans compared to what I've used in the past. I'm not a paid endorser of this. I'm just going to give it, my honest opinion. Okay. So first things first, going to tear open some of these patches. Okay. And I think this will take probably a pretty good chunk of it, because like I said, this is a huge barrel. So I'm just going to thread this through like so. Just going to make a wad. Give this a good shake. Let's look at the directions. Shake well. Apply a liberal coating to all surfaces of your firearm, both inside and out. Okay, I'm going to do what it says. So, well, did we already have a malfunction? Oh, look at that. The little tab has come loose, and it's blocking the cap. If I can get it out, let's see here. Okay, guys, got that thing out of there. It must have just come off and got lodged in the cap somehow. No biggie. So, okay, it's got kind of a greenish color to it. Looks like antifreeze kind of. So just kind of saturate that. And now I'm just going to run this through. Doesn't smell too horrible. Some of the stuff has a decent odor. Some of it smells like hog piss. So I don't know if you can see inside there, but the bore actually looks pretty clean. I'll do it just one or two more times. Make sure that gets nice and in there. Yeah, that looks really good. So the directions say to leave it on there for 3 to 5 minutes. So that's what we're going to do. I'm going to set this off over here to the side. So now what we're going to do, I'm going to put just a tiny bit here. I'm just going to kind of run it down these springs and just kind of let it soak, let it just kind of catch off. I'll dab it off later. I'm going to let that sit on there. I'm just going to apply just a couple of drops inside of there. I want to take my little handy dandy scrub brush and get to work. So already I can kind of tell that like this little plate right here was a little bit more dull. I can already see some shine to it. So it looks like it's doing a pretty good job. You don't want to take off, all of the coating of this. I mean, they put some of this stuff on here to protect it. But, you just want to make sure, like I said, that you're getting the carbon buildup off, because that will, and the solution is not to just put oil and then shoot, put oil and then shoot, because if you don't actually take the time to clean it, what'll happen is that oil will basically turn into like a trap, like a spider web for everything. So it'll catch all that carbon and dust and gas and all that kind of stuff, all that particulate matter, and it's just going to gum up your firearm, and that's the last thing that you want. If I had to say, I mean, if you're going to have one gum up on you, at least with this Desert Eagle weighing in at about 4.5 pounds empty, you could throw this sumbitch at somebody, and if you're, a good aim, you might just diffuse the threat that way. Otherwise, a firearm that won't fire, you might as well use it as a doorstop or paperweight, or insert cliche. So, all right, done a pretty good job with this. Went over the bolt, and I got in there a little bit behind it. As you can see, I've got some Q-tips here that I'm going to kind of use later to get into some of those nooks and crannies and make sure it's nice and clean. So now what I'm going to do is just use a corner of this towel and just kind of see all that I just wiped off, all that junk. I try to clean this after each and every time I clean my weapons, so that, this brush is, I don't know, 10 or 15 years old. I've had it forever, but it still works, so I'm going to keep it. All right, so now for this, you can already see, I haven't had this firearm very long, and like I said, I've probably put, a total 50 rounds through it. No more than that. So this gun comes pretty well oiled, but as you can see, there's some grit in there. I don't know if you can see that on my glove, but there's some grit there. So, just from the oil of the firearm, and like I said, I have cleaned this, but I may have missed the spot or whatever the case may be, but that's just a nice example of what I'm talking about. You want to get that gritty shit off, because that's what, like I said, will gum up your firearm. You want to clean down in here real well. This part down here is where your springs go, and that is what helps that piston vent those gases properly. The barrel itself does not move when firing. It is fixed. It's the slide that blows back. This weapon is designed, that bolt is very similar to like an AR bolt, and so that's part of the reason why you can fire such a massive caliber through this thing, is because of the way it's designed. It's very, very cool. I actually love shooting it. It is a lot of fun, but I'll be the first to tell you it is very impractical. And it's expensive as hell. Each one of these bullets, these are actually jacketed hollow points. I got these on sale the other day at Academy. I don't know if they have those all over the place, but they have academies here in the Lone Star State, the patron state of shooting stuff. And I got them on sale for about $32 for 20 rounds. So you're talking, over $1.50 every time you pull the trigger. So, but it is a lot of fun. Like I said, that's what you buy a Desert Eagle for. It's not a carry weapon, although I think they do make holsters for it. You probably just put a sling on the damn thing and carry it over your shoulder. So, all right, let's get a clean patch on it. It's been a good 3 to 5 minutes. We're just gonna push it in and out. So far, I like this stuff a lot. It seems to do a pretty good job. Yeah, and that bore is spotless. Also, what I like about it is this is kind of a 3-in-1. It cleans, lubricates, and it's a rust preventer. So you really don't need another cleaning product with this. So that's really nice. I know I've been wearing contacts for, I don't know, 25 years now, I think. And I remember, you used to have to, put this white shit on them and store them, and or get these tablets and let them dissolve and all this crap. Now, for the last however many years, they make this multi-purpose solution. And, that stuff is, it's great. You just put it in there and it does kind of the 3-in-1. So this is kind of similar. If anybody out there wears contacts, you'll know what I'm talking about. All right, so this barrel, is actually pretty good. I am happy with it. There's a little bit of just kind of residual dirt right outside here, so I'm going to take my Q-tip and get inside of there and just kind of, go around it. You see that's still pretty funky, but I wasn't able to kind of get that on there, so let me just put another little dab of it right there and just kind of use that and go around it, and there we go. Get that. Oh yeah, I could already tell it. I mean, there was like a nice little dark spot pooling right there, and I mean, this stuff is, eating it up. And you can kind of know if you can see that, but it's, you can see the chrome, the silver. I mean, granted, it's still pulling the stuff off because it hasn't gone anywhere, but I don't see it caked to the barrel, so that's good enough for me. So I'll probably do this just a couple of more times, and just clean out the little inside lip. Now it's coming off. The other thing too, that I don't know if I've ever mentioned it in any of my videos, is that sometimes I have a tendency to get kind of lazy. When after I come home from, if I take 4 or 5 of my weapons and I shoot 500, 600 rounds, I come home and I'll start doing something else, and maybe I'll let the weapon sit for a day or two. I haven't seen any hard data on that. That's actually pretty good. That's pretty clean. I'm pretty happy with that. So I'll put that off to the side there. Pardon my digression. I haven't seen any hard and fast data that, but I mean, it stands to reason that, you bring the weapon home and, it's hot, but then it gets home, it cools off a little bit, it's warm. Then all this stuff, may hardens and settles and it cools and it just gets in there. So I guess what I'm trying to say is, it's probably desirable to clean the weapon, as soon as it's feasible to do so, after you've spent the day shooting it. I wouldn't let the weapon sit for days on end. It's probably not good for it. All those all that junk that gets inside the barrel, and then you let it sit in there and build up, and like I said, it's just going to be harder to get it off in the long run. So if you just like making more work for yourself, by all means. So you can see, I mean, that right there, that's pretty clean, actually. I'm gonna get a Q-tip here and kind of run it down the sides and kind of see what it's looking like. I mean, it was a little bit, but I mean, it's definitely a lot better than it was. You want to clean inside these little channels. That is what the weapon slides along. So here's some more of this. You can tell the difference between, the dirt, the carbon, and, just like maybe, the bluing of the weapon. Just use your best judgment when it comes to that. You know your weapon best. And, whenever you're done cleaning your weapon, you want to leave a little bit of lubrication on them. The Desert Eagle actually recommends that you store it in a plastic bag. It says something to the effect of storing it in a plastic bag, basically with oil, like it was shipped. And when I got this thing, it was in a plastic bag, and there was oil gooped up all on the inside. I mean, looked like it had been put into strategic places, but I mean, there was just a shitload of oil. And I don't really want to store my weapon that way. You know, if it ruins the finish a little bit prematurely, I mean, I'm okay with that. I mean, you know, I just don't think that that's necessary. But that is what this particular manufacturer recommends. I don't remember seeing that on any of my other weapons, but Desert Eagle, I just thought it was particularly interesting. Maybe because, I don't know, they just have a lot of metal on these. And some of the other guns, most of the other guns nowadays, so many of them are polymer. So, you know, to my knowledge, polymer doesn't rust. I'm not a chemist, but I did take chemistry when I was in nursing school. Don't remember hearing anything about polymer rusting. So this is me kind of getting in here behind that bolt and just kind of, you know, cleaning it out, getting it nice and clean. And then now the bolt head itself. Okay, so that's good. Now we're going to go to this bad boy. Scrubbed it down pretty well.